Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're tackling a classic Leetcode problem called valid Sudoku. It's a great puzzle that really tests your ability to keep track of information neatly. We'll break it down step by step and look at a clean way to solve it. Let's get started. Okay, so the goal is to determine if a 9x9 Sudoku board is valid. We're given a board that might be partially filled. The empty cells are marked with a dot. We just need to check the cells that already have numbers in them, based on 3 simple rules. First up, the row rule. This is pretty straightforward. If you look at any single row, any number from 1 to 9 can only show up once. So for example, you can't have 2 8s in the same row. The second rule is just like the first one, but for columns. As you go down any single column, you can't have any repeating numbers. Simple enough, right? If you see 2 7s in the same column, the board is invalid. Now for the trickiest rule. The entire 9x9 grid is also divided into 9 smaller 3x3 boxes. Within each of these little boxes, you guessed it, no repeating numbers are allowed. This is usually the rule that requires the most thought to check efficiently. So the real challenge is figuring out an organized way to check all 3 rules as we look at the board. We could check all the rows first, then all the columns, then all the boxes, but that feels a bit repetitive. A better way would be to check all 3 rules for a single cell at once. To do that, we need a way to remember what we've already seen. The best approach here is to make a single pass through the board and use hash sets to keep track of everything. A hash set is perfect because it only stores unique items, and it lets us check for duplicates almost instantly. We'll use one set for each row, one for each column, and one for each 3x3 box. Here's how we can set up our memory in Python. We'll use a default dict of sets. This is just a convenient way to create a dictionary where if we try to access a key that doesn't exist yet, it automatically creates a new empty set for us. We'll have one for rows, one for columns, and one for our 3x3 boxes. Now we just loop through every single cell. We can use a nested loop, with R for the row index and C for the column index. Inside the loop, we first check if the cell is empty. You know, if it's a dot. If it is, we don't care about it, so we just move on to the next cell. If the cell does have a number, this is where the magic happens. First, we check if the number is already in the set for the current row, which we access with the key R. If it is, we've found a duplicate, and we can immediately say the board is invalid. If not, we add the number to the set for that row. Then, we do the exact same thing for the current column, using the key circa. Finally, we check the box. To get a unique identifier for each of the 9 boxes, we can use a little math trick with integer division. Taking the row index divided by 3, and the column index divided by 3, gives us a pair of coordinates for the box. We use this pair as the key to our box's dictionary. Just like before, we check for duplicates and add the number if it's not there. If we get through the whole board without finding any duplicates, we know it's valid. So here's all that logic put together into a single function. We initialize our dictionaries, loop through every cell, and perform our 3 checks. If any check fails, we return false right away. If the loop's complete without any issues, we return true at the very end. It's a really clean and efficient solution. Now let's talk about performance. You might be tempted to say the complexity is O of n squared, but since a Sudoku board is always a fixed 9x9 size, the number of operations we perform is constant. It doesn't grow, so we can say the time complexity is big O of 1. The same logic applies to the space we use. The maximum number of elements in our sets is fixed, so the space complexity is also constant, or big O of 1. So to wrap it all up, the main takeaway is that hash sets are incredibly useful for any problem involving duplicate checks. By combining them with a single pass through the grid, we can solve this problem very efficiently. And remember, sometimes a simple math trick, like the one we used for the boxes, can make your code much cleaner than a bunch of complex if statements. I hope that breakdown was helpful. If you found it useful, please hit the like button, subscribe for more Leetcode explanations, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments. And if you're feeling extra generous, you can always support the channel by buying me a boba. Thanks for watching, and happy coding!